So it's spring 2026 and it's mid-March. We're looking at a couple more months before we can start putting plants out, but I've already started. I've got a ton of different pepper plants, tomatoes, a couple veggies, milk jug, winter sown, crazy. The first actual garden was last year, 2025. Tons of fun. I basically had no idea what I was doing. I was starting lettuce indoors, waiting until it was super warm to put it out. I had peppers that stalled because I put them out too early and they encountered a frost. I've killed tons of basil. I had no idea what I was doing, but I had a couple of successes over the course of the season. I started with hydroponic. I wanted to just do something super complicated and see if I could figure it out. And I ended up growing a pretty massive beefsteak tomato plant without really knowing what I was doing. I was replacing feed solution just intermittently. When water would run out, sometimes if I didn't have time, I would just dump a bunch of extra water in it. And so I think that using that kind of lazy gardener method, just kind of throwing things in based on just general intuition, it works for me because I had a really good season. Stuff that I grew from seed indoors, stuff that I planted straight in the ground, stuff that I bought at garden centers. Some of it did great, some of it did bad. It didn't really matter how I did it. This year I've got goals. So one of the goals is to grow a whole bunch of green chilies and pickle them and can them the way you would like a New Mexico style green chili. I purchased a ton of New Mex pepper seeds from New Mexico State University. They seem to have a really great program and a lot of fun super hots. So the plan is to take all these seedlings and grow them outside. I think I'm actually just gonna go straight into the ground with the big gems and just kind of do a couple rows of an area that has bright sun, and then just do everything I can to get them as big as I can so we can have a huge harvest and then do just a ton of canning and pickling. I've also got some New Mex habanero trick-or-treat peppers. I think I've gotten one to germinate, possibly two. I'm not a huge fan of the big heat peppers, but I do want to try to grow a super hot, and I don't want to grow it for nothing. So I found this one has, it's a habanero that has no heat, obviously trick-or-treat, right? So if you mix them all together, you can figure out pretty quickly which one's the trick and which one's the treat. So I'm gonna try that, should be fun. Don't have any plans for that per se, but we'll figure something out if we get a harvest. I either want to take a poblano or one of the big gems and try to do a monster plant out of it. So just feed it like crazy, just baby it to death, constant food, constant water, just always making sure that it's growing in the perfect conditions possible so I can get as big of a plant as I want. I don't necessarily want a monster yield. I would just like to see how big of a plant I can get this pepper. Same goes for tomato. I got some Big Zack hybrid tomatoes, kind of a beefsteak style. They can get really, really big fruits, but again, I'm also gonna try to just get the plant as big as I possibly can and to see what kind of harvest we end up with. I plan on using the lasagna style. I got really obsessed with the Mendo Dope boys and some of the big plants, some of the big trees that they were growing out in California. So 3 big monster plants: a pepper, tomato, and a sunflower. Those are the ones I'm going to be babying. The rest is all going to be experimentation and just general, you know, food that we don't have to buy at the grocery store. I started these peppers on March 8th, Wisconsin Zone 5B, and I also started a number of flowers at the same time. I don't know anything about flowers, and so instead of doing a ton of research, I just did a little bit of info on each seed, and I'm sowing a few of them indoors, a few of them outside, and we're just gonna figure it out as we go. I love the idea of it just being low risk, low stakes. Really, it's just feeding something to try to make it beautiful. So if we don't get big flowers or anything like that, it's not that big of a deal. It's not like we're missing out on food. We just might be missing out a little bit on beauty. The rest of the veggies and flowers that I'm going to be planting this season were started on March 19th. I do have a couple of direct sow veggies that I'm going to throw out: cucumbers, zucchini, pumpkin, maybe a watermelon. Not quite sure if I'm going to direct sow that. But the bulk of the plants are in soil right now as far as what we're going to be transplanting. And then there's only just going to be a few different types of plants that we're going to direct sow outdoors. So last year I built my garden, a couple of raised beds on top of grass. I sheet mulched the grass, filled it with half composted leaves, and then the rest with a raised garden mix, including worm compost. Over the season, I built a few more beds and did a couple of direct sown veggies and sunflowers, and I had some pretty good results in the kind of sandy central Wisconsin soil that I'm in. Unfortunately, the weather's not great, so we're in Zone 5B. You know, got to use a lot of more hardy types of plants in order to get good yields. But I think that it's a nice trade-off because we don't deal with mildew and molds nearly as bad with such a short humidity part of the season. And we get to learn how to grow stuff that people can't grow in some of the warmer climates. So it's an advantage, but I'm also seeing, you know, my mother has a garden in southern Ohio, and she's been working on it for years. So the soil's obviously like a little bit better than, you know, my kind of, you know, 1 year's worth of working the soil. And she seems to be a couple weeks ahead on last frost, and then is able to grow peppers and other kind of heat-loving plants a little bit better than me, but I seem to have a lot more luck with the brassicas and those types of plants not bolting quite as fast. So once I learn how to actually grow those and get some flower or fruit, then I think I'm going to be way ahead of some of the warmer climate regions. So this is fully self-taught. I'm basically Googling as I go, taking pictures and just figuring it out as I go along. I'm also growing kale, eggplant, Lisbon onion, Thai basil, regular basil, purple basil, and a whole slew of other veggies that I'm going to be throwing into the ground. We had a false spring and then a hellscape of a winter storm. It usually always happens towards the end of March. We get one final blizzard that dumps on us. This one had about 2 feet of snow. My garden is completely buried, and there's so much snow that that it's actually kind of somewhat flooding the basement a little bit. So before all this garden stuff, I was like working in politics and kind of losing my mind as a designer and a campaign manager and just a general like consultant, I guess. Now this gardening thing is completely different than anything I've ever done. My face has just been in the computer screens the whole time, and now I'm like staring at plants and being outside. It's kind of amazing. And then before that, I was doing stand-up comedy. So I don't know how long this is gonna last, and I hope this doesn't become a job like every other hobby, but this one has been more rewarding in its first year than anything that I've done over the course of, you know, my life's career. So I love gardening, and as I'm aging, I'm in my 40s now. I'm learning that I can't just like run at full speed, and that I'm not super keen on hanging out with people all the time. And so a garden is perfect. So I can be a total crank in the sunshine, and that's where I'm finding myself to be most happy. So. This is certainly going to be a learning thing for me. I'm not an expert or a guru, and I'm not even very good at even doing that when I am an expert. I like learning, and I like learning as I go. I'm not big on hard and fast rules. I like to break the rules, sometimes even before I learn them. So this can be kind of a fun gardening experiment, right? It doesn't have to be somewhere where you come and learn. Like, I'm going to make a ton of mistakes, and the comment sections are going to tell me that, but I'm only going to listen to the people who are nice about it. I guess if you have any questions, you can put them in the comments, and I'll answer them. But I would love to hear about what you are growing this year. There are so many plants out there that I haven't even heard of, that every time someone tells me that they're planting something, it's just an opportunity to learn more about if it's possible for me to grow it, if I want to grow it, and what kind of benefits it can bring to me and my household. So follow along, be nice. I'll do the same, and I think we're going to have a really good season. My name is Stefan, and I'm looking forward to gardening with you.